As a YouTuber with some mild hair loss, I'm often met with the same questions, or should I say statements. On many of my hairstyling tutorials or hair product reviews, I get a surprising number of people telling me that those very hair products are causing my hair loss or are even speeding it up. So, do they have a case? Are these hair products and equipment killing my hair? Or is this all a bit of a misunderstanding? We'll find out after a quick word from our video sponsor, who will help you look great no matter your hairline. The Christopher Clues eyewear collection combines Danish design with high quality materials to keep your eyes protected in style this summer. Their sunglasses are made of premium acetate for increased durability and feature strong hinges to ensure they survive whatever you put them through. Each pair comes fitted with polarized CR39 lenses, which reduce reflections, limit eye strain, and improve visual clarity, even in the brightest sunlight. I love the classic aesthetic of these Christopher Clues glasses because they're not too flashy. They suit my style and are still going to look great in 5 or 10 years' time. Also, their sizing is spot on for me. I'm sick of the generic, gigantic men's sunglasses which exceed the width of your face. These are much narrower and as such a far better proportion to most men's faces. I've really enjoyed wearing these aviator sunglasses, a style which is traditionally too wide for my face. Outside of watches, sunglasses are one of the few accessories us guys can really treat ourselves to, and they can help step up our appearance. I've teamed up with Christopher Clues to offer you a massive discount code which gets you 20% off their eyewear. This is the best discount you'll find anywhere on the internet, so if you want to pick up some of these quality glasses, make sure that you use the code below to save yourself some money. I'd like to begin by talking about my scalp. Why am I losing hair? Well, it's quite simple. Male pattern baldness. This is how the vast majority of male hair loss occurs. If you want a full explanation on how that process works, then please view my finasteride video, there's some more information in there. To keep it short, it's primarily down to genes inherited from your parents, which gradually results in reducing hair density over time. As a result, outside of pretty extreme treatments, there's very little that you can do to stop or reverse it. You'll often see it starting in areas such as the temples, the center of the hairline, and at the crown area. The rate at which this happens varies widely per person. To lots of guys, their hair is precious. They don't want to lose it. After all, your hairstyle can substantially change your appearance. As such, I understand the idea that putting a potentially dangerous product in your hair could be quite worrisome. So, where do hair products and equipment come into all of this? Are they making this worse? It's important to be specific when answering these questions. Typically, the type of comments I normally get infer that the chemicals in products like waxes or hairsprays act to kill your hair follicles and prevent future growth. For the most part, this isn't really the case. There are some factors that can affect it, which we'll talk about in a moment. Generally though, I like to think of it this way. Who most frequently uses hair products and equipment? It's not us guys. It's our female counterparts. They are using all sorts of hairsprays, brushes, dyes and equipment every single day. And whilst our hormones are somewhat different, our hair structurally is the same stuff. It reacts very similar to the products that we're using. For the general premise that using hair products will rapidly lead to baldness, there just isn't much of a case. On a practical level, if that were true, most of your female friends and family would probably look like cue balls. On a scientific level, I couldn't find any evidence that hairstyling products directly cause hair loss, akin to male pattern baldness. A ton of hair loss websites confirm that by themselves, and when used correctly, most products don't have any particularly negative effects. Some hair products may contain parabens or sulfates. Parabens are typically used as preservatives, while sulfates are used as a detergent or as a foaming agent in shampoos. Whilst the effects of parabens are debated, albeit not yet proven, with some claiming that they can harm your health, it's clear an over-reliance on sulfates can dry the hair out, so they may be worth avoiding. I'll leave some links in the description for further reading. Importantly, irresponsible use of certain hair products and equipment can lead to the hair becoming more damaged and brittle, which could cause hair follicles to shrink or more easily be ripped out. I'd call this styling damage rather than true hair loss. Extreme heat can cause such damage. As a result, I see many people discouraging the use of hair dryers when styling your hair. Whilst I don't stretch that far, I do recommend investing in a high quality hairdryer that features multiple temperature settings. That way you can select a medium temperature in combination with a fast speed to maintain great styling results without the risks associated with high heat. Whilst it may be a necessity for longer hair, I'd also recommend against using straighteners on a daily basis. They tend to be far hotter than hair dryers and can leave the hair feeling fragile after repeated usage. When drying and brushing your hair, it's important to be gentle. Your hair is fragile when it's wet, so avoid being too vigorous with towels and combs to avoid unintentionally pulling out smaller hairs. Additionally, there are a few things to bear in mind when using hair products. Firstly, be a little bit careful about how much product that you use. Using excessive amounts of product can cause a buildup of oil and wax, which can lead to you having worse skin, and some also believe can contribute to blocked scalp pores and consequently follicle miniaturization in extreme cases. This is when your hair follicles decrease in size and sometimes fall out. In most cases, unless you are caking your hair in product, this shouldn't be an issue. I'd recommend starting with a small amount of product anyway when you're styling with a wax. Furthermore, your choice of hair product can affect how thick your hair looks. Greasier products tend to clump the hair, allowing others to see straight through to the scalp if you have thinner hair. As a result, if you're concerned about thinning hair, I'd recommend using a product that provides a matte finish, as these tend to leave the hair looking thicker due to reduced scalp visibility. And overall, they do just leave a drier look, which I think most guys tend to prefer. It makes your style look more effortless. I think it's also worth mentioning hair washing products that claim to promote hair growth or reduce hair loss. Caffeine shampoos such as Alpecin have been all over media this last decade. Having been skeptical about the performance of such products for a long time, I found it quite funny when in 2018 the UK Advertising Standards Agency banned Alpecin from making claims that their product fights hair loss. Consultant trichologists essentially found no evidence that the product reduced hair loss. Having tested a caffeine shampoo myself to no avail, this didn't come as a surprise. I wish it worked, but unfortunately, there's no evidence to suggest it does. You can see my full video on that topic in the iCard above. It's also generally recommended to avoid shampooing every day, as these often contain the sulfates that I mentioned earlier. This means that they can dry out your scalp and strip away the natural oils in your hair, causing dandruff and in rare cases, damage to the hair follicles. Once every other day is probably a slightly better option. Also, when you do choose to use shampoo, make sure you follow it up with a conditioner to help rehydrate those hair follicles after you've stripped them of moisture initially. And I think that premise applies to your hairstyling products in general. I like to make a real effort with my hair normally every other day. I think it's important to give your hair some downtime from all the chemicals. However, there is a lot of scaremongering when it comes to this topic, much of which comes from brands looking to profit from it, trying to sell you some alternative solution. Outside of extreme cases or clumsy decision making, hairstyling products aren't going to make you bald. Like the video if you enjoyed it, grab some stylish shades in the description, and I'll see you in the next one, boys.